Hello, everyone. I welcome all of you to this special spiritual meeting, which is another episode on absolute happiness. So, the topic that we're given for this particular spiritual discussion is Be Still, You Are the Self. So, before we go on to, Be Still, You Are the Self, look at one thing. It is common in all of us, right? What I call as divine attention, the outer guru, right? There is divine awareness, the inner guru, which is present within you. For that to function in space and time, you see, when you wake up in the morning and till you go to sleep, one thing we miss, that our attention goes to images. And we are busy with images. We have been busy with images for many lives, and so the story will go on. But what you missed is that without attention, is anything possible? Just think about it. Just think. You're all, listening to what I'm saying. That's fine. I'm an image. I'm speaking something. But without your attention coming to me, what are you going to be conscious of what I'm speaking? And this divine attention, the outer guru, this is what you are seeking. This is the God, or this is the reality to which we don't pay any attention. And you can only bring your observation to attention not as Anilji, not as Henry Kevington, but because you are the reality itself. The ego or the personality cannot see this attention. You have to realize this. You're directly in self-absorption or self-avoidance. And look at it. This attention is the same in every human being. You test it, right? That is my direct experience. And the only time that you will find peace, look, if you are looking for absolute happiness, or you're looking for peace, the only time, like a mathematics teacher says, the only time it will become 2 is when 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. The only time that you will find the real peace in your life, unaffected by happiness or by sadness, unaffected by these episodes of images, is when you realize and live as this attention. Because look at it, attention remains unaffected. Attention is not a personality. Attention is the reality. Even the gods, the creator, the preserver, or the destroyer, they also need attention. Otherwise, what do they know? What to create, what to preserve, what to destroy? Right? So from there, we link this particular topic that be still. These are very big words. You are the self. And I'll just change it a little bit. Be still. You are the attention itself. This physical form will come and go. Many births will come and go. Many troubles will come and go. But as attention, you have always been present. You will always be present. And Margaret, this is actually true. Because in my own life as well, I've gone through a lot of difficulties. But the thing is this, I can't fall of what I see. Once this is realized, the beauty and the gift of this is that it remains. It protects you. it takes care of you like a child. There is really nothing to worry. And there's really nothing to be very happy with. Because, you see, anything which is there in space and time is created, preserved, and destroyed. No one can escape that. And that also is the reality. But only who knows that this is the case? Only attention knows. And attention never forgets that. Because attention is the very source of this world. So, many people have come and many have actually attained that illumination over the past few years. So, this is another story in the making. You see, it was in June 2017, I got an email from a person called Henry Kevenden. So he said in that email, it was written that I am seeking guidance based on the teachings of Brahma Maharishi. So I communicated with the sage, and the sage said, well, guide me. I said, okay. And then I gave reply to the email, and then same time in June 2017, Henry Kevenden is present among us today. He lives near Gold Coast in the countryside. And he flew over in about 3 weeks' time, and he said, I want to have a meeting with you. So I said, okay. I took my car and, I go for my walks. So I took him, picked him up, and we went for a walk, along the waterside. It's a beautiful park at a place called the Chipping Norton. It's near our place. So when we were walking, Mr. Henry explained to me about his spiritual experiences. He said that he has got a guru in South India, and there's an ashram there, and he goes there every year. And then he said he was told to go to some caves in the Himalayas. He said he has been twice in that cave, and he's got a Vegan Kundalini, so he sees this beautiful light. He sees Shiva, he sees higher beings, and he said when I was in the cave, there was so much illumination, I saw Lord Shiva. So I was very patiently listening to him. But I said to him, you're still not listening to what I'm telling you. What is present here? Right? It's fine. All your experiences are very beautiful, they've come and they're gone. But you're not listening to what I'm telling you. What is right here? Right? And I said, isn't the consciousness here? Is it because of this consciousness you are conscious of all this? Isn't the attention here present? We can use that word. I didn't use it then. I said, isn't the consciousness there? Without consciousness, how can you even talk to me about all these images? And what you're doing is, you're ignoring the reality. You are ignoring the presence of consciousness. You are ignoring the presence of attention, and you're busy in these experiences of yours. You will never attain for what you have come to me. So I knocked him 2 times or 3 times. The third time, I think I just made him stand. I said, look here. Here are the trees. There is the water. There are the birds chirping. The beautiful sunshine is there. And we only know about all this because we are conscious, because consciousness is present, and consciousness is the God. Consciousness is the reality that you are seeking. Then suddenly he was stunned. Something hit him. And tears rolled down his eyes. And I said, okay, we have done enough for today. And after that he went away. And then the sage said to me that, okay, start some satsangs with him, spiritual discussions. I said to the sage, okay. So from July 2017 till about December 2017, we had a series of spiritual discussions over the telephone, right? And they were all centered around what did he need. Every time we had a discussion, I took him one step deeper, one step deeper, one step deeper into the reality, right? And then in December 2017, we broke for about 3 weeks. We have the Christmas break, so he was busy. I go away with my grandkids and the usual life going on. And then again, We had a satsang sometime around third week of January, and that was also quite deep. And then actually I had given him a poem right at the start as well. This poem is called "At All Places and at All Times." What is this? At all places and at all times? Nothing but awareness. The simple awareness, the simple consciousness, which is before, during, and after all your experiences. After all your evolution, it was there before, during, and after. So where are you running? What do you want to achieve? You come after Anilji, you go to Ramana Maharishi, you go to another guru. You can't run to these gurus without being conscious of how you will run. You've got a goal of attaining self-abidance. I mean, how you will reach that goal without being conscious? Why don't you just stop and look at it? Right? This was written by someone who was illuminated, the follower of Ramana Maharishi, at all places and at all times. It's nothing but awareness. I told him, I said, read it till we have our next subject. So then, on 7th of February 2018, we had our spiritual discussion. I told him, I said, Henry, read this poem. And I said, read it slowly. And he read it. And in the end of the poem it says, it is neither too grand, it is nor too humble, it is simply the truth. This attention that I talk to you, there's nothing very grand about it. There's nothing extraordinary about it. It's colorless. It just remains as it is. It doesn't matter how much anil, many anils will come, speak about it and go. Many sages have come and gone. This is the ancient, historic, the great self that Sage Ramana talked about. This is the reality. And I challenge you, I test it out and see if what I'm speaking to you is wrong. Right? So anyway, Henry read that poem. And then I said to him, have you understood what has been written in this poem? Do you understand it now? That's what when we started in June. The first email that I sent to him in 2017 also had that poem. And now we read it again. So he said, yes, he called me Guruji, whatever people want to call, they call, doesn't matter. So he said, yes, Guruji, I now understand. And I had a communication from the sage that he is in self-awareness. So I told him that now you are in self-awareness. And I finished. And then later he told me, I read in this book, that what happened was that he's got a garden, there are some rocks there, some plants there. He went outside and he was looking at these rocks. He was silently watching. He had finally arrived. And he said that he spent many hours that afternoon and there were just tears rolling down his eyes. He had reached the final destination. So that day went to this day. Naturally, once the reality blooms, it blooms. It doesn't leave you, no matter what. No matter what, when the reality blooms, it blooms. Right? Because you finally arrived. Now, because he had an awakened Kundalini or these cosmic currents, it's interesting, people say that I communicate with Sage Ramana, but there was a Shri Sadhu who communicated with Sage Ramana. There are many others who have communicated with Sage Ramana, and this is a living example. Sage Ramana started coming to him, and Sage Ramana said, I want you to write a book. Right? And the title of the book was going to be Still, You Are the Self. And then he talked with me and he said, the sage said, you will help me to publish it and all that. I said, yeah, it's okay. I'll be publishing books, doesn't matter. So then, he was told to go to Ramana Ashram. He spent about 3 weeks there. I think it was last year, in January. And anyway, so the book was written and then finally the book has been published. So I invited him, to our meeting to talk a little bit about his spiritual journey, and then talk about what is there in the book. And I find this book actually extraordinary. It's beautifully written. It's written from the heart. I've not come across many such books where it takes you right to the reality. But you see, the reality is always waiting. Are you really ready to go there? Is the question. But the problem is we are always so busy with this and that we hardly arrive there. So anyway, that was my brief introduction, to this episode. Now I'll invite Henry to come and conduct the rest of the talk. And thank you for being patient.
Thank you, Guruji, for this session, and thank you for the introduction. This is the book, Be Still, You Are the Self. I've got a message from the sage yesterday morning in my meditation. And he said, talk a little bit about yourself. He always talks about little bit about yourself. I've also written in the book. I said, I'm going to, when I asked him, he said, write a little bit about yourself, not too much about yourself, yes, just a little bit about yourself. And he said, write more about this book itself, which I'll talk a little bit. And there's going to be a question and answer session, which I really want that to be the most important thing. It's not me being the question and answers. You can come forward and you can ask questions. I try to answer whatever I can. Guruji is here so he can answer, and anybody else who can answer the question and answer. Okay? Yeah. Thank you. Guruji has said a few things about myself, and I just want to say a few more things about myself. I think that's important. As a child, it looked like I already knew this life is going to be very difficult, like most of us. And my mom said that, or my family said that, I was never wanted to be born in this world. And they had a real tough time trying to bring me out into this world. I was a delayed child. And the midwife couldn't handle it, and they didn't know what to do, and they prayed to all the gods that they can think of. And finally I was born. And I was born, and they were so relieved that, finally I decided to come. Thank God. And as a child, I was very sort of more gentle, which is not totally accepted. You got to be really mature, but I was that way. When I went to school, I joined the Red Cross because I find that, dealing with human beings and human emotions, I find that more attractive. And of course, it went on, my life went on. There was something in me that wanted two things in my life as a child. Where I grew up, there was no idea about yoga, but I always had something in me saying, hey, I wanted to do yoga. But where I was born and where I lived, nobody was talking much about yoga. There were no yoga school. There's nothing of that sort. Perhaps there is now, but not at my time. And also when I became, just before my teenage time, there was some experience in my life which to date I still don't know. I don't know what it is. I knew there is part of me, or I felt there was part of me that could have been around, say, 8, 9. A part of me that is a very, very good person that never makes any mistakes. So if there's any mistakes, and if my mom tells me off, I'll go to a corner and I'll communicate with that something. I'll say, sorry, you're the good one, I'm the bad one. This went on until a time, maybe as a teenager, something like that, and I forgot all about it. And it just came back about maybe 1.5 years ago, these thoughts about that going on, that went on. I always went and communicated with something. I don't know what it is or where it was coming from. It's supposed to be part of me, a good part of me. So whenever I'm unhappy, I used to sit in a corner and I used to communicate with that someone. Then when I became, say, in my early 20s, desperately learning or trying to learn meditation, it never happened where I was. And this word about self-realization always went through me. There's something called self-realization, but I don't know what it is. It's like you're searching for something that you don't really know what it is. It's like a phantom, yeah? You're searching for something, but what it is, I really don't know. I really don't know what it was. But inside me, this always coming out, self-realization. Just left it at that because I couldn't grasp it. I can't get anyone to guide me, nothing. Then when I was in England, I met some college students and university students. They had a guru, and I started to join the group, and they had spiritual meetings. Mostly they sang spiritual songs, and then after that they had something to eat and finish. So it's sort of every week this went on. That was in Leicester Square in London. They used to have a meeting there. And this went on for many years. And then it came to a point, but that was going on. And then I was changing country, I was married, I was a child, and things were just going on forward and backward. But one thing that never ever stopped was the search for me. This word self-realization. It never went off me. So always searching for that. Always searching for it. What it is, I still didn't know. But I was searching for it. And then there was a time when maybe about 32 years ago. And I had a guru besides that main guru whom I came across when I was in London, there was a second guru. And with that guru, he was very good. And when I meditate, then suddenly there used to be this picture of the Buddha coming. Just there, and he's meditating, and I'm just meditating, and suddenly I'll see him there sitting and meditating under the tree. And I told him, oh, what is this? And he said, because you and I were before I've known you before, he said, that guru. And he said, you had very strong links with Buddhism. You were a Buddhist, and I was a Buddhist too, and we have known each other. Okay, that finished, yeah. And then when I was in London, I went back again to do masters. And then the Buddhist monks used to come to the university. I was in UAE, University of East Anglia. I was doing my master's then. And beautiful people here. And also the other attraction is free food, free lunch here. So it's beautiful always. And so they taught me meditation, and I did their meditation. And suddenly I was feeling that when I'm doing my meditation, sort of like floating, I got a little bit scared, like you're meditating, suddenly you're off the ground, you feel like, you're not sitting on the ground. And when I told them, and they said, don't worry, that means it's a good sign, it's not a bad sign, it's a good sign. And then that stopped, and I was doing, and again, I left England, and then I was back to my old guru, and things were going on. Then in one of the trips to India, so I was going to this guru, whomever I took when I was in England, in London. So I used to go to his ashram. Every 1 year, every 2 years. And suddenly one of the times when I was meditating, and suddenly in this meditation, a light came, exactly like the sun. Just for the first time, it shook me like that, and my whole body shook like that. I settled down. The first time that it came to me, I really didn't know. I don't know where the hell this is coming from, I was thinking. It took me, it took me a while, but I really don't know what it is. Where did it come? The first day it came, second day came, third day came. I left India, came back. Australia it came. Initially it came nearly every day, maybe about 2 months. Then it used to come about 4 days in a week, then 3 days in a week, then maybe once a week. But still it continued coming until my self-realization. So that continued, and the Buddha continued, and meanwhile many of the masters came, like Sri Yukteswar, and Mahashaya often came. Those of you who read Paramahansa Yogananda, you'll know that Sri Yukteswar's guru is Mahashaya. Mahashaya often he used to come. There were so many other masters. I don't really know, with all those long beards, they come, they sit there. I see them in my meditation, and they are there. So all this went on. But somehow something began to tell me, look, all this, whatever you are going, it's not, there's duality in it. Yeah, there is you, because I was doing then a meditation. There's me, and there's something else. And I'm meditating. This is duality. This is not really right. But I just don't know where to turn to. I felt really upset with my own self, because I read all the books of that guru, but nothing is taking me there. It's all duality, even the meditation we're doing is duality. Sometimes I felt so hopeless. I said, this life, it's not worth living. I can tell you, when you're in that state, you just want to cry. You just want to throw everything away. Maybe you feel like you want to drown yourself. That's the best thing you can do, with this body. But you're so horrible. You feel so terrible. I felt like that. I went through this phase. And it continued. I said, I won't say anything more because it's more in the book, okay? And so I rather that question and answers, because that's more important than anything else. So finally, one day in my meditation, around my night meditation, I used to do meditation in the morning and at night. Meditation, suddenly this word came in my mind, go to Ramana Maharishi. Go to Ramana Maharishi. Yes. So I just opened my eyes. Yes, go to Ramana Maharishi. Go to Ramana Maharishi. So I tried to go to the computer and try to search, but it was already so late. Angie was already sleeping. I had to pass the bedroom, but I still went and searched. There was something called about Ramana Maharishi, and I waited. Angie's my wife. Wanted her to go to work. Boys go to school. It's my time now. I quickly went into the computer and I looked this up, and I quickly contacted Guruji. That's how my contact with him, because he said, go to Ramana Maharishi. And then we communicated, and I flew down. I met up with Guruji, and he brought a lot of books to give me. And in it, and I think in one of the emails that he sent to me, because we were corresponding quite regularly, very, very regular, it says I've got a book which is written by, by the sage himself, directed that it should be, how the book should be. I said, oh, he's in contact with Ramana Maharishi. Why don't I also ask him, when you meet him the next time, when he comes, ask him if I can be a direct student too? And an email, and I said, can you please ask him, please, and let me be the direct student too? There was no reply. Most of the time, the reply will come immediately from Guruji, yeah? And the second day, the reply came, yes, it's going to take you. You will be his direct student, supported by me. Guruji said, okay, it's beautiful for me. A direct student of Ramana Maharishi. Thank you. And then he started to give. Guruji was there every week, as he was telling. He would give me satsang, he would give me satsang. He refer to books and all that. But I have to say this, Guruji has got, I think over the years, he's got so many students. He has got so much of patience. He had so much of patience with me. Yeah, because I was so ignorant. Ignorance in the sense that I'm searching for something and I don't know what it is. And I all the time thinking, maybe this, maybe that is self-realization, but I don't know what self-realization is. So then also the transmission. So the sage started to give special transmissions for me. They're all in this book. That is chapter 6 there in the book. I've made sure that all the transmissions are very, very, very important, because I don't see that in talks or anything like that. But there they are, all of them, so important, these transmissions. Yes, and there were still certain experiences, like something like from inside trying to bounce, and also I had this feeling this body is just too small for it. Just I want, like, put a bomb in and blast it out, and then I got the whole sky and the whole world to me. But I couldn't do that. Still, I felt so hot and so stuck, and so this went on, and Guruji was grieving, and I was just going through many, many different experiences during the time. And then, of course, there was a break. And meanwhile, even before I came to Sri Ramana Maharaj, all these tears of love will come for God. I'll sit in a corner, I just, tears will come. I really don't know. I couldn't talk with anyone around because nobody could understand me. Like when I was, like, between around, I say up to year 12, between say 9 and 12, I used to talk to something I was talking. It was a bit like that. Nowadays I said, God, you know me. God was silent. And then, like, people die of cancer, and I said, God, you can give me this. I'm willing to take that, provided I was bargaining, sorry to say, I was bargaining, provided I get self-realization. He was silent. No words, nothing was said. Okay, that's all right, yeah. Then, and after that, of course, Guruji came and all that, and I told to Guruji, I said, I'm just have this feeling, this intense feeling, that I know it is there, but I just can't grasp it. I told to Guruji, and then he said, that was on 7th of February, yeah. He said, okay, go and bring the poem, times and all places. He asked me a few questions, mind you. He doesn't simply he asked me questions, spiritual questions, and I answered all of them. I was very happy. And then he said, go and bring this poem. He told me to read it, all times and all places, and I read it. And then he said, read it again. Slowly, I read it. Very, very slowly. And I know what it is. I know what it is. It is there, I know, but this confirmation, yeah, Guruji said, yes, you're free. He said, you know what it is, it's that, and you're free this moment. I just felt like, this is amazing, like, you're searching for this for so many lifetimes, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. You think, it's better to die than to be again, going around like this. And then these tears of joy just came. Guruji said, okay, I'm going to leave you, okay. And then I just went to the Alphabet School. These tears just pouring out. I went and made a hot chocolate because he said, I'm free, I can do anything now. Not to say do anything now, you can be happy, you can celebrate it, Then I went to the back of the house. I just looked like that. It's blue sky on the day, in February, it still is so hot. I just cried. I don't know what to do. I just cried. It's tear of joy. It's not the ego, the ego cry is very, very different. This is when you come close to your heart. When you touch the self, there's a certain love. It's pure love. And you touch it, and it's so full of love that you can only cry. At least for me, I can only cry. So, and I was so tired, I just went and slept. And I just kept that to myself. I wrote in a book today, whatever. So after that, just a feeling started to come. Whatever I was doing. A feeling started to come that I wanted to write a book which was just within myself. And later I realized why, and asked Sri Bhagavan. He said yes. Later I realized that I lived in Tibet in my last life, and I had a small ashram. And I have got a soulmate. You read that in the book. I'll talk a little bit about my soulmate, yeah. And I started writing, then I didn't finish it. I died very young. And she continued the ashram. She's born again. She's in this world here actually. Um, and then Bhagavan said, yes, you're right. But as usually he said, don't write too much about yourself. Write about the teaching. And so that is sort of unfinished work. And then the work on, he started to write, started of course in Australia. Then it went to Ramana Ashram. I went for the first time in 2018, went with the family, yeah, with the two boys and Angie. So that's the first time I've been to the ashram. So, and it's an amazing experience there for me. Many of them, some of them have written there. And then, so the writing continued to the Himalayas, and amazing experience in Himalayas. I was shown I've been living in Himalayas some of my past lives with this soulmate, some of our lives, I should say, were there. And it's this amazing energy, like, you walk, and so these tears. And anyway, still I continue writing. I continued writing there, on the Ganges. We stayed for 2 weeks on the Ganges. Came back and continued writing. Then even when we were there in 2017 December, I was told to come back in 2019. I was told to come back in 2020. So in 2020, I told Guruji, I want to be there. I want to be there for a month in the ashram. And Guruji wrote a letter to them. And then the final date Guruji got was on 7th of March. So I left on the 6th of March and reached there on the 7th of March in the ashram. I was given a room there to be there for a month. And then COVID came, and also when I was there, I met my soulmate. That's how I met my soulmate. The book writing was still going on at the time. And the message that, this person is my soulmate, it is in this book. And then there for 2 weeks I was there, and then India was shutting down, and I had to leave 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I came back, continue writing. Then finally finished this book, yes. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about this book. Be still, you are the self. This we all know. This is a title given by him. All of you got this book, yeah? There's a title given by him. Be still means kill your mind. The moment your mind is killed, you are the self. But nothing to, all of us are the self. What stops us from being the self is our mind. So the moment this is gone, then what left is there, yeah? So he gave this wording, what has to be there. And this name here, Sri Arunachala, this is the name that the Ramana Maharishi, the sage, gave me for all my writings. He said, that's your name. Whatever you write, you'll be using this name. You see that the name there. I was thinking a little bit, this name. And I remember when his mom passed away, Sorry, this is where I'm coming to, yeah? Someone said your mom passed away, Alagamma. And he corrected this person. He was a little bit annoyed. He said, no, she didn't pass away. She merged into Arunachala. She has become Arunachala. So then, because from the 7th of February 2018, they merged with Arunachala. So he gave this name Sri Arunachala. To be using all the books, future books, it will be Sri Arunachala I'll be using. So this is where this comes from, yeah, the front page. Then if you look the back of the page, it's interesting. This picture here, this I was told to use, it was given to Hanga. Hanga is from my past lives, my soulmate. And he said, tell her to design this page. And she was only 19 at the time. And she did this page. She was very, very willing. So this has come all the way from Hungary. She lives in Hungary. She's a Hungarian. She's got beautiful parents. They teach yoga. And they are vegetarians. They've taught her everything about spirituality. She knew self-realization. She knew everything. And the sage wanted her to do this painting. And she did this. So this is all the way from Hungary, this picture here. And then, and for this wording here, she's an amazing person. Very, very supportive. When I said, this is a message here, she said, yes, I will do it. And then, when I was writing this book, she will write and I asked, how is the book progressing, how is it going, how are you going? Very, very supportive person, very kind, very loving and very caring person, beautiful person. She turned 20 now. And here, this wording here is, if you look at talks, is talk 17. In my meditation, he said, go to talk 17. The wording for the back page is there. So I went to talks, and then I looked, and this wording was there. This is how this wording comes. This is talk 17, those of you have got talks. So that came from there. And then he said, go to Guruji, and he will publish a book. Okay, yeah, good. But I don't know how to publish a book, I've never published a book before. This is all so new, and I'll say something about the cover too, yeah? The original cover was different. Because the original cover, I had a picture from the, from the calendar. And one of our boys, Surya, we had the same words, be still you are the self, and he's sort of a blue color, and I had Arunachala there, and then you put some square and all that, and then we did the same for this, it was a full picture and everything, and the wordings was there for it, with Hanga's picture there. Then when we sent to the publishers turn around, and this picture is to be inside. Actually, the picture is also inside. You'll see inside the book, yeah? Same picture is there. They took this picture and they used it for the cover. And they redesigned it. And then, and the back with the redesigning, it looked like this. But the sage said, Hanga has to do this, and it is looking different, and I want to make sure that it's acceptable for Hanga. So immediately I emailed her. I said, look, this is what they've come up with. Are you happy with this? And she said, yes. And I told the publishers, yes, go for it. Because that is her job, and it has to be done as a team. This is so very important. Whatever we haven't finished in our past life, we have to finish in this life. So it's a team, and she said, yes. So we told the publisher, okay, yeah, go for it, And I like the way it's set out. It's better than what we designed, I must have to say. And this too, looks very beautiful with this blue and white background and all that. So all that went. And then, of course, Guruji took me to the publishers. And yes, it's a learning. I must have not learned that, so it's a learning. Then the pictures, yeah. I originally, still I've got a copy there. They're all supposed to be in color. Yeah, all these pictures, the picture of Guruji, beautiful in color. You will see there's a picture of Guruji there, but it's not in color. So when I got the book, it's not in color. And, and this mountain, Arunachala, for me, Arunachala is my inner light, that I see in my meditation. And it's all in black and white. And I asked the guys, why did this happen? And they said, oh, we want to make it competitive. The book has to be competitive. So, I took the color off. So it's sort of, so the color disappeared, but still accepted. And I was looking for one of the pictures. You'll see some pictures at the back too, that was important for me when you read what you call in my journey. And I was looking for a picture of people praying or meditating in the temple itself. That's in page 117. I looked and just nothing could fit into whatever it is. So I wanted. So I said, okay, I'll leave it to Bhagavan if he doesn't want it. I don't want it. Then suddenly on his birthday, on the 30th of December, I just went into the internet and I said, oh, maybe something may turn up. And there was this picture, this very, very, very picture, kind of picture that I was looking for. Because this picture is taken at night. And with all the lights and all this, it's this amazing picture. And I just got it straight away and just included that. And of course, the Buddha now in black and white, it used to be in color. And of course, the ashram. So this became part of this whole book. And the writing itself, I won't say that I wrote, because there's something in me wrote. I tell you, one of the reasons, when I published this book through Guruji, I really don't know, at the end of writing this, I was so tired, because in summer, where I live, it gets very hot. And I still have got a family running, and in my office, there's no air conditioning. And some of the work will come, mostly in the evening. In the morning, I meditate, then I always these things to do. And I got a garden, I got everything. And really tired and just don't know what to do. Finally, I wanted, with the book, I just wanted an index to the book, And then when I told to the publishers, you already have an introduction, not an introduction, that a contents page, so you won't get an index. I said, no. A contents page and index are different. The contents page is at the beginning, and the index is at the back. And people want to look for something, and I sent them a book that has got it's got a contents and an index, and they agreed, and I was very happy with that, So finally, that came about. And of course, to set this up, I don't know, you will even see there are mistakes there. Apologies for all those who are there and whoever may be buying. There are mistakes, and I accept the mistakes. Because I was just too tired, and I couldn't pick it up. Yeah, really sorry. And even here, whatever they did, I have to be just on my toe, and you'll fit in the numbers of the pages. In some of them will be on top, in some other chapters will be at the bottom. Just accept it, yeah. I didn't get angry. I was surprised to see it, but I said, it's what it is. Let it be God's will, So it's Bhagavan's will. He also wants to show, this book doesn't have references. And I come from an academic, background, academicians know you want this, from where you got all this. And he said, no references for this book, he said. And he said, this is your, you're crystallized in your thinking, you need. And he said, no references. Forget about references. So I also wrote this in this book. He said, no references. So there are no references in this book. Because all the teaching are his anyway. If anybody are using it, they're only using his teaching. So it's all about his teaching. What reference is that? So there's no references. That also made my life easier, References, so much more to do. You don't have to do all that, And then after this book went to the publishers, and then somebody wrote, I didn't know that there will be, people giving reviews and all that. And I never thought about it, because I've never done this before, And then I saw one review that, people writing review. It was a very good review, I must say. But then I just forget about it, this review business, let it be whatever it is, And then about 3 weeks ago, I went into the website to see, whether they have, still you can get it, in Amazon. I find that the Indian book, because it's also in the Kindle version of it, the Indian one didn't have the Kindle version. They had it at the beginning, then it disappeared. That's the time when I talked to the proprietor. I told him that's not there. And then he sent me one which said, that is one for Australia, but the one for India isn't there. So I sent him one showing him the website. Then about 3 days ago, for some reason I opened it, and I saw there were 24 reviews on this book within about few weeks now. It's about 3-4 weeks only. It's been in the market, and there are 24 reviews. I said to myself, this morning, there are 28 reviews at the moment on this book. And I started to read these reviews, and I said, what are people saying? What is this about? Most of the people seem to be young. most of the people I was so touched by their comments, whatever that they gave. They can understand, they can relate to it. And one of the person said, for years, all this life, I've been trying to understand what self-realization is. And it is so clear now. It's so very clear, I understand it. And thank you, author. And still, I always, I feel I didn't do anything. And also, I wrote it in the simplest language, with so many comments that it is so simple that everybody can read it. It's amazing all the comments that they are in this book. On the total, it's 4.1 out of 5 for the stars. So that's pretty good for a spiritual book, Most of the people, very, very good. The 1, 2 people, the lowest was 3, yeah. We have to accept them and for them. And some of them said that 1 or 2, they said the pace was slow. But this is not a fiction or a thriller, the pace will certainly be a bit slow, so that the pace was slow, they said. And one person said it was a tad repetitive, probably because, we had by once question and answers, and sometimes it matches up. The person was very good. He said, maybe, the kind of stuff that is going on will be like that. Okay, I will leave that with this, about the book. So we can ask questions. I think I will have a little break, 1 minute break. I want to drink some water, then we'll have question and answers. I think we'll be on time. Yeah, just before we start this question and answer, of course, we're going to have it. There's something very, very important for me, which I really think that what really helped me was the faith in your Guru. It is so very important. Unless you have faith in your Guru, he can't help you. I can tell you that 100%. Unless you are willing to give yourself to him, he can do whatever he can, but you have to be ready to be the gift, to be one with the self. And for me, this little book, we may think, a small book, it's an amazing book for me. And I don't, my glasses must be in the bag, but my glasses? Oh, okay, thank you. I just want to read this one thing that I used to use it as a mantra, See, this book is fully marked. It's so important. And this part here about the Guru, In truth, this is question 20 in this book, In truth, God and the Guru are not different. So he is God for me. If you can't love him, then you can't love God, because God is the human form, God and Guru is not different. Just as a prey which has fallen into the jaws of a tiger has no escape, so those who have come within the ambit of the Guru's gracious look will be saved by the Guru and will not get lost. Yet, each one should, by his own effort, pursue the path shown by God or Guru and gain liberation. I used to read this again and again and again. It's like a mantra for me. I know I'm with him, and I know that I'm with Sri Bhagavan. I know that they will take me to self-realization. I have the faith. Without the faith, I can't make it. For me, he is my God for me. He's the self. It's not a human form. I love him. I think I was here a few days ago, and I'm sorry, a few weeks ago I saw him. I just couldn't stop crying. I was holding his hand. I was crying, and he didn't know what's wrong with me. Holding, but that's my love for him. I just can't help it. So for me, this is so very important. So we all are looking for. We all have got Guru, and we have come this far, and all of us are in it. It's so very important that you have 100% faith in your Guru. Otherwise, you can't. I can tell you 100%, he won't be able to take you. He will do everything for you, but you'll drown yourself. So just that is important. There's one other thing which is, for me again, is important. This is about, we are all about reading books, We are all reading books all the time. like a habit has become. And someone told Sri Bhagavan, I've read many books, but my mind does not turn to the self. And all of all these people were talking and talking and talking and talking. And his answer was, because the self is not in the books. Yeah? But it is in you. Reading books only make you learned. Yeah? That is its purpose, and that's fulfilled. You can go on reading and you can know and all that, you only learn it. Very good, and you can argue your whole life, this is right. But the self is in you. And I thought this is very, very important. Unless we move from the body to the self, and you are the self, you listen to your guru. Love your guru as God, because God and guru are one and the same. And again, like Ramana Maharishi was quoting one of those Vedas, one of the spiritual books, and what he was saying was, you have taken, he was answering a question. He said, look, Guru, the self has been, you have been in me all the time. You have been observing, and you have coming through life after life after life. Now you have materialized your own self, or you become as a human to be my Guru, to give me to self-realization. Isn't that beautiful? So the self has come as a human being now. Otherwise, I can't get that, whatever I'm looking for. That's what it is. And we have to treat him not as a human. Unless we treat him as God, he's not going, he can't help you. It's not, he doesn't want to help. There are two different things here. He wants to help, but we have to work for it. Okay? Okay, we can have one question and answer session now. I'm ready. Any questions?
Just to thank you for your shared intense experience.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. If you have got questions, we'll take questions. If there are no questions, then maybe we have something, some prasad or something. But sure, nobody has got a question to ask. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Being still, you mean? Yes. Being still is, when you reach that level, your mind is not working anymore. Most times it is empty. You're just what I am. So when I'm talking, I'm not thinking that I'm talking. It's a self-talking. It's Damodaran asking the self a question, and the self is answering that. That's what it is. That died for me, that died on the 7th of February. And I think I was just telling to someone, I'm for the world now. So it's again, I forgot to talk something about this. I was so busy writing this book and all that. And then when this was given, I put it in. I never thought about what it is. But it's exactly the same as this. Be still, you are the self. That means you are the self all the time. Yeah? Once the mind is clear, and if you read this, are you born now? You are a self, you are not born, isn't it? The question, are you born now? Why do you think of other births? The fact is, there is neither birth nor death. Let him who is born think of death and palliative thereof. Therefore, exactly meaning the same thing. It didn't occur to me, at the time I just put it in the book and all that, and not a few weeks ago, I says, oh God, it's exactly the same he's saying, nothing different. Did I answer your question now? Any other questions? None? No one? Okay. Then there are no questions, then I will say thank you to all of you who are here, and with I'll just take leave from that then. Okay.
Conclusion of today's discussion. It's quite interesting actually. You see, every time there will be a story. right? I mean, when we look at today's talk as well, it's another story, another book written, another discussion on self-abidance. But you see, what you need to take away from this is that when we started the session, and now when we finish the session, the beauty is that attention remains the same. Do you agree with that or not? There is no change. Divine attention, the grace is flowing. We really can't do anything about it. And it does not reveal itself because it is self-revealing. It is actually self-revealing. You can't even, what can one talk about this? But when it reveals itself from within, you see that this divine attention, the outer guru, this is the self. This is the reality. This is the God that actually you are seeking. Then maybe, like it happened with Henry, and there are so many other examples which we can give. You know, he said that if you go to the Guru, then it is like entering the mouth of a tiger. And once you are in the jaws of the tiger, you can't escape. So what happens is that when people come to Ramana Maharishi, or when people come to me, it's been 20 years here, repeatedly it is the same message. Again and again and again, people come with all sorts of problems, with all sorts of issues. But you see, everyone is only talking from their perspective. This is my life, this is what I have read, this is how I think I should go, this is how I will attain self-abidance. But attention is free of that. Attention doesn't care what has been your path, who was your guru, how you are going to attain self-abidance, because that is the real guru. That is actually the real guru. You know, there was a transmission I just wrote one day in the morning that you are your own guru and you will lead yourself to your own self-realization. Because look at one thing, that who actually is trying to be attentive? Who is trying to be attentive? Only you. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else to whom attention, who is being attentive of whatever it may be? Everyone is attentive of their images. But this you who is attentive of things is not the personality. Look at it very carefully. Personality is only an instrument. Because that's how life has to be in space and time. How can Anilji talk about this if you all are not there to talk about? But talk about what? Talk about the reality. And how simple actually it is, you see. And this is what happened with Henry as well. All that was done was simply this thing was hammered every day, every time. He lived in an ashram 200 years ago, somewhere in Tibet. And that's when he started writing this book, but he didn't have the answer. What is he going to write? But when the answer came, and then it came. And it is 7th of February 2018, and today is, the 25th of April, 24th of April 2021. No change. He is still as he is, and he doesn't need to prepare. It just flows because that reality always remains the same. If you have anything, you only have this attention. Nothing else, right? Anything that you have, in whatever form you have. It's created, it is preserved, and it will be destroyed. This physical form, you have to live it because you came into it. No matter what you do, you can have all the happinesses and glories of this physical world, or you may have all the diseases of this physical world. You have to live it. But what will not go is your attention. And this is what is to be realized in the awake state and realized in this life. Why he said to me, one of the things I want to say is, follow the Guru. But I always say, follow the Guru who is in self-abidance. And I always say, have Ramana Maharishi as your Guru. Because for 50 years, he only taught one thing. Just look before your journey. Just look before your goal. You have all these gurus, you may be following all these things, but the very thing you ignore, the very self, the very attention, look at it very carefully, be honest to yourself, that is what you ignore. You never look at it. It's because of that you can do anything that you are actually ever able to do. Whether your sister is passing away because of cancer, or you got a big promotion, or you are earning $200,000 a year. It's only because of attention. If attention is not there, these images mean nothing. And what happens is that we live between ourselves, the personality, and the images. And the reality is forgotten. That's why there is a joke which goes around that, God said to man, that man said to God, how will I find you? God said, I will always be there. I will right be there in front of you, but you will never see me, even though I am there. And actually that is true. Right? So, my apologies to take up this a little bit of extra time, but the whole purpose is to drive us to realize that reality, not tomorrow. Yesterday is actually gone. It is then. And you look at one thing, you see, one of the revelations, because a lot of revelations come from the self. For the self, there is only the present. The future doesn't exist. There is no past. Look at it very carefully. This is your experience. Whatever is there is right there, and that is how it is, and that is what you can do. You can plan for the future. The past has actually gone, but has this ever changed? Look at it. You're only active in the present. The images only come right there where you are as you are. Think about it. The self said, for me, there is no future, Anil. The past is all dead. For me, it's only what is happening in the present, and my presence is always there in the present. And attention is always there in the present. There is no future of this attention. There is no past of this attention. This entire world is engulfed by this reality. See, what I'm telling you actually is, the deeper you go into it, you will suddenly realize that this attention is beyond description, beyond words, beyond your trinity, beyond anything. Because this entire world rests in it. It comes from it, it feeds it like a child, and it gets dissolved into this. But that has to be your own experience, So with that, we will bring our this spiritual gathering to a close. Thank you very much for attending. I hope it has been useful. Thank you.